You have to be really careful about what you read and what you say these days. Anything can be picked up, and things can be so easily misinterpreted, as dear Piers Corbyn discovered yesterday. Now, there's an organisation called Led by Donkeys. It was extremely instrumental in resisting Brexit a while ago, and it's put out some posters in the last day or so. It's a very interesting campaign. I think it's wrong, actually. But it's saying that a range of brands, household names, like Sainsbury's and Go Compare, the range of brands have paid for Nigel Farage to attack the RNLI, the lifeboat people. And it's not quite true. Yes, it is true that Nigel Farage called the lifeboat people a migrant taxi service. He did this on GBTV. But it's not quite true that Sainsbury's and Go Compare were paying him to do this. There was no wad of £10,000 in a brown envelope that came from Sainsbury's or from these other advertisers on GBTV. All these people did was to pay for adverts on that new news programme. No money changed hands in Sloane Square. They didn't even take home monopoly money. Farage didn't take home any of this. He wasn't bribed to badmouth the lifeboat service. He was simply employed to present a programme on GBTV. And actually, I really have to say, I think he's found his place because he is rather brilliant. Particularly his pint with Farage is quite superb. And I was looking at one of his talks the other day with the former mayor, Livingston, the former mayor of London. Brilliant. So they've got this poster saying, "What's your policy, Sainsbury's?" Sainsbury's. The Co-op has actually pulled its adverts from GBTV, but Sainsbury's haven't. What's your policy, Sainsbury's? Still paying Farage? Yes, and I hope these people are indirectly still paying for Tom Harwood as well and promoting free speech. One of the problems with the beginning of GBTV was that the Sky Media Service simply automatically bumped lots and lots of advertisers straight into paying for GBTV, and then the tweets started, and people say, "Oh, we've got to boycott this because it seems to be saying things that we don't we don't like, or at least that our supporters don't like." And suddenly you had all these advertisers withdrawing their adverts from GBTV and crippling the channel. One doesn't know if this is going to be a channel that will continue, but actually we should promote anything that encourages opinion, encourages free speech, and challenges this growth of what we now call cancel culture. But maybe it's more than that. Maybe we have found ourselves in a society ruled by bullies. We can think of Priti Patel. Actually, I prefer not to think of Priti Patel too often. And as for the RNLI helping people at sea, I cannot think actually of a better example. No one chooses to be a refugee. No one chooses to rely on a people smuggler, even if you can identify that person as a people smuggler. This is the person who has offered to help. And this is an act of desperation and of distress. People suddenly find themselves in a boat, caught in a dinghy, caught with or without a motor, caught in a major and busy shipping lane. Of course, these people need the help of the RNLI. It's not a taxi service. And as for Farage's attack, that actually drove up a spike of donations to the RNLI. And the boss, Mark Dane, has defended its job in saving people in boats, even refugees or migrants. It's a humanitarian endeavour, humanity at work. This is simply being human. This is simply doing what we are all required to do, which is to help others. So congratulations, Nigel, in raising that issue. And yeah, led by donkeys. Well, you know what donkeys are, really. Anyway, if you don't know what donkeys are, go and have a chat with Mr. Gove. Bye-bye. Do ping and do subscribe.